Hello everyone, in today's lecture we are going to review a resume, or you could use your own resume for reviewing purposes. Also, I am going to provide you an interview checklist guide that you should keep in handy. With this, let's review this resume. First, use a pre-designed resume template. By looking at this resume, I think this have been built on Word doc and use in-center style text, but I didn't find it very much visually appealing. You could use a pre-designed resume template out there from resumebuilder.com or Canva, and there are many resume template out there. You could use one to build your resume. Next point, let me check this. Okay, so next point, make the resume fit on one page. So clearly this resume fits on one page. That's good. So let us check this point. Next, include words from job description. Suppose there is a UI UX designer job out there. So mostly UI UX designer job out there would be saying the candidate must have skills in Figma, or in skills in Adobe Pro Illustrator or Adobe Photoshop skills, or should have a skills in wireframing. So as a candidate, I will catch those keywords and add into my resume. So if we look at this resume, we couldn't find like all those skills in this resume. So I would definitely recommend you to highlight those words. So with this, we could checklist this. Moving on to the next point, that is include the company name you are applying to. So if you are able to add the company name onto your resume in profile section, you are standing out against all those other candidates who are just sending out their resume. So by adding the company name and the position you are applying to, this will show the employer that you have a genuine interest in the company and understand its value and goals, and you will help the company to grow. Moving on to the next point, does your first item on your resume reflect what they are looking for? By this I mean the first initial item listed on your resume should align with the qualifications, skills or experience that the employer is looking for. So when reviewing your resume, the employer wants to see the first item such as work experience, project or skills directly addresses the requirements, preference outlined in the job description. So in the about me section, I could add the keywords from the job description, such as I have a decade of experience in Figma or Adobe Illustrator and have implemented the creation of print ads. So by this, I could check out this point. Moving on to the next point, that is, do you have online link? So if I am a UI UX designer or a data scientist or a programmer or a coder, so I should highlight my online links such as GitHub profile, my Kaggle notebooks, my Figma portfolios, my GitHub profile. And here in this resume, I am not able to find any such online links. So by this, I think you should add all those in the topmost point, and you could highlight those, because employer sees all those things that you have done. Okay, we can check this point. Moving on to the next point, you could remove the word I, because it doesn't add any value to your resume. Like here he have mentioned that I package my creativity, I love learning new things. Instead he could mention that have packaged my creativity, have love learning new things and proactively seeking new concept. With this, we could check out this point. Next word, avoid buzzword describing how great you are. There are resume who mention like I am proactive thinker and I am passionate leader. This buzzword doesn't add any value to your resume, so please avoid adding those buzzwords to your resume. With this, we could check out this point. Moving on to the next point, are you using action words? What do I mean by this? Whenever in your resume, you try to use much more action words such as I have implemented highly distributed system, have worked on this. You need to show how much work you have done instead of not using action words. Such as I have done this work. You could mention how much impact it have generated. You could also mention that how much great the result is after you have implemented those things. So for example, it could be like after building the model accuracy was increased by 90%. This 90% word have added much more action items into your resume, and employer would love to see this. With this, we could check out this point. So next, measure everything in terms of impact. Don't just describe your responsibility. Similarly, that I mentioned previously, you just need to mention the impact you have done. So by implementing this feature, the number of user was grown by X%. So you have to show this, like, I have implemented this UI UX design and the number of user have been grown by X number of percent. So this X number of percent, you are showing the number of impact. Don't just describe your responsibility that I have assisted the senior UX designer or UI designer. Instead, you try to mention the impact you are doing. By this, we could check out this point. You should mention those keywords onto your resume. For example, if they are looking for Express Node.js developer or they are looking for REST developer, you should take those keywords and highlight it in your technical skills if you know it. So with this, we could check out this point. Next, include only section items that are impressive. So mostly there are 4 sections in any resume that are experience, project, education, and technical skill. Other than this, there are just extra sections. So don't try to add extra section. Only add if they are necessary. So with this, we could check out this point. Moving on to the next point, no typos or bad grammar. Once you build your resume, you should check there should be no typos or bad grammar. You could also do this by uploading your resume onto ChatGPT or Cloud and ask them to check if there is any typos or bad grammar. With this, I want to show you one more tool that will help you review your resume, that is jobscan.io. So what you have to do is you just need to upload your resume and add the job description title, and it will provide you a job ATS score. If your ATS score is greater than 95%, then you are good and you don't need to much stress about your resume. There is one problem that you have noticed that we haven't talked about. That is, what if I don't have any experience? What if I only have 6 months of experience? What if I am underqualified? All this question we are going to look onto our next lecture, and I hope to see you on that lecture. With this, we can sign off this lecture and I'll see you on to the next one. Thank you everyone. Bye.